Hey, Kariatu.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Hey, I was just making sure my sound was working.
Oh,
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Kevin.
How are you, Rusty?
Great, sir. Thanks.
Good. I'm gonna go ahead and vote that we do this class in your room next time. Because that looks nice. All right. Just print out the sheet. So this class is all about Google tools. So that's going to include like Google Drive, Docs, Sheets, Calendar, kind of everything that we are given for free through our Keller Williams Google account. So just to kind of get a feel for who's in here, does anyone use Google tools at a high level or at all?
I use
I
it
use
at
Google.
a pretty moderate level. I don't think high level, but moderate.
Okay, it's a good start.
I know what it is.
Yeah,
Good.
but I have no idea how to access our account that I didn't know that we even had, and I don't know what to do with it. If you showed me how to get there.
Absolutely. Yeah, very simple. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll just hop into this. And this is a very beginner class, just kind of going over the basics. I'll show you a few like tips and tricks for things that I do personally. Some of them I don't even think twice about. It's just implemented into my systems. So there's a lot more you can do with these. Let me get started and feel free to interject, ask questions. It's kind of like an open mastermind style class. Let me start here. I'm sure everyone knows how to, make sure that goes away. There we go. So I'm sure everyone knows how to get into your email account. That's a good place to start with this. So your email account is linked into your Google account. And with Keller Williams, they give us they pay for like a corporate professional Google account, which if you did on an individual level, it would cost you quite a bit per month. So that's a nice bonus we get for paying our monthly dues.
Kevin, how do you get to the email? Because I don't use it.
You don't use your Keller Williams email account?
No, not at all. We have our own email.
Okay. Well, in that case, I don't know how long you've been licensed. You might have to reach out to Kimberly to get your login information. But whenever you join Keller Williams, they create a free @kw.com account. So you just have to get your login info. And then you can go to gmail.com and just log in. Or if you're already on Gmail, you can hit the top right corner and then add another account. And you'll just have to put in whatever your KW email is, and then they assign you a password when you first join. So from there, at the top right corner, you'll see these 9 little dots for Google Apps. These are the different apps that we're going to be diving into today. So if you click on that, if you don't see them at top, you can scroll down. Some of them are hidden at the bottom if you've never used them. But you'll see here, this top one is your account. So you can go in there and set up like general settings for Google, Gmail, that's your email account, obviously. Google Calendar. So I'll just go ahead and open these and then we'll kind of dive into them as we go. We have the Google Drive. So Google Drive is basically just your folders that are all online. So pretty much same way on your computer, you save everything in folders, hopefully. Hopefully it's not just pure chaos of all your documents. Drive is just a good way to organize that up. Docs. So a lot of these are pretty much the same as Microsoft's tools. So you have Microsoft Word is pretty much Google Docs. You have Sheets, which is Excel. Slides is their version of PowerPoint. Let's go and open that up. And just starting with the basics, I wanted to read what I read online for what Google Workspace is. It's a collection of cloud-based office productivity tools similar to Microsoft Office that is linked to your Google account and can be accessed across platforms. So the cool thing about that.
Hey,
Sorry?
Kevin,
Yes,
all we're seeing is your calendar.
just the calendar. Let's see.
Or I'm sorry, your inbox, your inbox.
Oh, yeah. That's correct. Yeah, I haven't
Oh, okay.
done it yet. Yeah. So in the App Store on your phone, whether you have Android or Apple, you can download all of these individual tools we're about to dive into. So that makes it really nice because you can go on your computer, set up, a nice spreadsheet or a document, and then at any given time, you can pull it up on your phone. So it's cross-platform, tablets, phones, computers, which makes it really convenient compared to like Microsoft Office. I don't know if they have apps or not. I think nowadays they do have cloud service, but that's why I like Google Tools so much because I can always pull it up on my phone. And I'll show you some of the different tracking sheets that I use. Let's see. So just getting started, I'll start with the Drive because this is kind of like the central hub of Google Workspace. And then from there, you can go into all the different apps. So just to show you one more time, from your Gmail account, you hit these 3 dots and you click on Drive. And that's going to bring you to this page here. If you've never used Drive before, I would suggest starting at the top left corner and hit plus new and create a new folder. Call it real estate, call it, whatever you want, something to put all of your real estate business inside of. So we have PS Jackson team folder right here. When I click on that, so this is my way of keeping our entire business organized. I like to label my folders as 0, 1, 2, 3, going in order of numbers. That way, when I sort them by name, they're going to be in order of importance because I want the things that I use the most at the very top and then just kind of work my way down. So just kind of showing you how this works. So let's say I want to go into my listing folder. Now there's subfolders in here, starting at the top, going with leads, and then through the pipeline, they go through upcoming, active, pending, all the way to closed. Within each of those folders, I have more subfolders for when did they close, all the way down to the individual level for that specific listing. That way I can go in there at any time and see, you know, these are the documents for the contract. Here are the photos. Here's the listing agreement. So those are just PDFs that I have put into our folder just to keep track of. The good thing about that is we have unlimited storage on this account. So I can free up space on my computer by putting them on the Google Drive and then just clearing them out of my computer once they're closed. And you'll see here, there's the PDFs, but then there's also some documents. So like we have our verbiage document. When we create a new listing, I go ahead and put this in here. That way, Patty, our lead agent, can go in and she can write the verbiage that I'm going to use for FMLS. And then also here, one thing I like to do is create a sheet to keep track of all the different showing times. This house wasn't that popular, so it's a pretty short sheet. But what I'll do is as showing requests come in, I'll go ahead and put in like 4 to 4:30 requested. And then I can share this with my client. That way they can see as they're coming in. I know some people might use showing time and link their client to it, but I prefer to do it just on one single sheet so they can keep track of. That way, at the start of each day, I could say, hey, client, you know, here's our schedule for the day. Here's what we have requested for the next 3 days that we need to confirm.
Hey, Kevin, this is Shelley. When you said that you have unlimited storage, I have 4 accounts with Google, but one of them I got notification that I am 93%. My storage space is limited. I don't know. I may have uploaded too many things to that. Do you think that's the case?
Yes. So if you have a free Google account, I think they give you like 5 gigabytes.
Right. Exactly.
And then you can pay for like 20 or 100. You know, you can pay tiers depending on how much you need.
Yeah.
But with the Keller Williams account that they give you, you'll see if I click storage down here. Sure where it says it, but
is it under trash?
yes, it should be at the very bottom there.
Okay. Sorry, Kevin. So your class is going to basically leap over our ALC, and I'm sending a note right now to Jim to let him know that I'll be late.
Okay.
Yvette, look on the text message that I just sent you.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No worries.
So I don't see trash. Where do you see trash? All the way on the bottom?
Yeah, left side trash should be at the very bottom, the second to the bottom.
On the drive. Okay, sorry, I'm not on the drive. Okay, got you.
But yeah, with the Keller Williams account, you have unlimited storage, so you could put, you know, all the videos and pictures you want, and it's not going to eat up space on your computer. So that's one plus about using the Keller Williams one as opposed to, you know, a free account or one that you pay for.
Right.
Then
so if you have things in trash, would that free the storage or not necessarily?
Yeah, I think so. If you're using a limited account and you want to free up space, you could probably delete everything out of trash because I think it saves it probably in there for a certain amount of time.
Got you. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So do you find it beneficiary that you are moving everything into all your listings into Google? Correct.
Yeah. So anytime we get a document, I throw it in there. And the reason for that is, let's say I'm going to show the house. I'm meeting, you know, someone like an internet lead there. And while I'm there, they say, you know, do you have a copy of the survey? I'm not at my computer. You know, one way to do it is say, yeah, when I get back to my office, I'll email it to you. But what I can do is pull up my drive on my phone and just click share right from there. So I like to have all the documents related to that listing on hand at all times. Because how often do you get calls with random questions? You're like, oh, I'll have to remember to call you back later and give you that info. Whereas I can just go right in there and pull everything up.
Got it.
So that's kind of the basic layout of Drive. I just suggest creating an account for all of your real estate business, and then even just starting with the basics. You know, I have a lot of folders in here, but starting with one for tracking your business, one for listings, one for buyers, and then maybe one for like notes, to start with the bare basics and then work from there as you need. I'll show you some of our tracking. I actually created a template, and I'm happy to share this with you guys. So before we end, or if you want to go ahead and send me an email, you can do that, and I'll share this folder with you. But what I'm going to get into is how I actually track our business. Down here. So these are just some of the different templates I wanted to show you. This is what I use on a daily basis, multiple times a day. I pretty much always have this tab pulled up on my computer. And this is just a blank one, so you guys can easily fill it out. But this is Google Sheets. So it's basically just like Microsoft Excel. So very simple. You can customize it any way you want. You can add in formulas like you do in Excel. So if you want to add a bunch of totals, you can do that. To kind of give you an overview of this sheet, what I have at the bottom here, there's different tabs. So this first one is our pipeline. So if someone calls and says, hey, I'm thinking about listing my home in 3 months, I'm going to put them up top here in the listing lead folder or listing lead section. And then as they move through the pipeline, I'm going to move them into upcoming. And then when they're active, they go active. Once they're under contract, I move them to one of the next sheets that I'll show you. So this is kind of your upcoming business section. So this is an important one because you want it to be very full with future business. Next one is our pending tab. So this one looks kind of weird when it's blank. But the idea is as you get people under contract, all of the information is in one spot. Let me zoom in a little, make it easier to see. It's probably small. So what happens is when I get someone under contract, I'll go and fill this out. Seller source, SOI, 123 Main Street. Not going to fill everything out here, but it's going to have all the dates and all the price. So let's see, purchase price, I'll say 500,000. And then down here at the bottom, you have your GCI info. Sure what that is. Cap, royalty, if you're not capped, you can put that in there. Net income at the bottom. Whatever it is. And then as I go, let's say I have 3 of these. The way this sheet is spread up is if I scroll all the way to the bottom, it's going to total this for me. So at any given time, if Jim gives you one of those calls and says, hey, how's business going? You can say, oh, it's great. I have 1.5 million pending, 45,000 GCI pending. This is how much I have left on my cap. Everything's pretty much built into the sheet. So at any given time, you can pull this up and see where your business is and where it's headed. So top is listings, buyers right under that. Once I close on this listing, what I do is I go and I highlight this section right here. And I copy it. And then I go over to the next tab, which looks almost identical, but it's for closed. And I'll just paste it right in there. Now when I scroll down to the bottom, this is my close sheet. So at any given time, you have what's coming up and what's closed. And then next to those are my seller and buyer checklists. So once someone goes under contract, what I do is I go over to the seller checklist or the buyer checklist. And I'll go fill in all of this information. So this is the more detailed actual checklist of what needs to be done from, an active listing all the way through closing. So at the top is all the information. It's very similar to those last sheets. But then at the bottom here, what I've done is I've put our system into a checklist. That way I can go through, once they're a lead, I can go in and check these boxes to make sure every single thing is getting done. So I don't want anything to fall through the cracks. Active, upcoming, pending, all the way through close. Once they're closed, update their address, ask them for reviews, put them on these different command smart plans, update their tags. Pretty much everything you do should be going in this folder. So when I share this with you, you're going to see there's some things that I use for my system that you might not need to use. You can easily just get rid of those. Or if there's something you do that I don't do, you should tell me so I can add it. But you can easily add it too. So if, you know, one of your upcoming listing checklist things needs to go right here, you just create a new line, add it in, and now that's part of your system. So then every day you could pull this sheet up and say, all right, where am I? You know, yesterday I put out the under contract ride. Inspections tomorrow, I let the sellers know. What do I need to do today? All right, I need to post on social media. I want to send out flyers. I need to put together an appraisal package. So this is your way to really just systemize what you do when you're under contract, what you do when you're closed. And what I do here, as you'll see at the bottom, seller and buyer checklist. What you want to do is right-click it and duplicate it, because you don't want to use that template for the seller checklist. You want to create one for that property. So I'll go and I'll duplicate it and rename it to whatever that listing is. And then you have it right there. I'll show you how ours actually looks. Once it's filled out. Yeah. Pipeline. So you'll see here, this is how our pipeline sheet looks when everything's filled out. And then as they go through the process, it gets filled in like that. And these are very easy to print too. So if I ever want to, you know, print out a copy so we can do our business planning, you know, I'll do that. And then as they go through the process, fill in their information. And then once they're closed, I just drag them over to the right side here. Someone say something? Maybe not. All right, any questions about that? That is my most important spreadsheet. Nope, okay. Before we dive into the other tools, I want to go back to emails. This is something that when I tell people, it blows their mind because apparently it's not a very advertised tool of Gmail, but I use it pretty much every day. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start in settings. So at the top right corner, hit the little cog wheel. You do have to activate this tool. And then click at the top, see all settings. There's a few we're going to get into. So this first tab is your general settings. It's good to just kind of go through all these to make sure it's set up the way you want. But a couple cool ones that I like. This one here, undo send. You can set how long you want it to be. I'm not sure if it defaults to be on or if you have to activate it. I have mine set for 10 seconds. And the way that works is if I go and I send an email, you'll see at the bottom left corner here, message sent, I can hit undo. So if you're like me and you go and say, hey, please see attached, and then you hit send and you're like, crap, I forgot to attach it. You can go save yourself from having to send 2 emails. You can undo it. It gives you kind of a 10-second, I messed up period. That is one thing I like. Another one, which I'm sure most of you already have, but at the very bottom of this general settings, you have your signature. So if you're brand new and don't have one yet, this is where you can go in and add in that default, you know, kindest regards, your name, your information. If you want to create a picture, you can do that in command in designs. They have email signature templates. Go and fill it in. You could add in the picture right there. And then once you save it, now every time you go to compose an email, it's going to automatically populate that in there. And last part of settings, this is the cool thing I was talking about. Go over at the very top on the right side, hit advanced. And right here, you'll see templates. You want to make sure this is enabled. I think it defaults to being disabled. You want to enable that. And here's how that works. I go to
Can you
compose.
go back? Sorry, can you go back for a moment? Sorry.
Sure. So this is in settings.
Okay,
And then top right corner, go to advanced.
okay.
And then you'll see templates. You want to make sure that
Oh,
is
yeah.
enabled.
That enable, right, got it.
Okay. And then save at the bottom to make sure it saves.
Okay,
So here is the way that works. I go to compose a new email. One thing to keep in mind is with your email signature, it gets thrown into every email you compose. So when you're creating a template, you can go ahead and delete that out of there. You just want a fully blank slate. And I'm going to go and, oh, why it's bold. Oh, I guess we're doing bold. So what I'll do when I'm making a template is I'll either highlight or put brackets around what I need to fill in when I go to send the email. So I might say, hi client, and then, whatever you want them to say. So say there's an email that you're sending out all the time for like a new lead, or when you go under contract, you're emailing it out to the closing attorney. Here are the details of the contract, yada, yada. You go and create this email that you want to save as a template. And the way you do that is at the bottom right corner, there's 3 dots here for more options. You hit that, you go up to templates. And then I have a lot here, but you should see at the bottom, save draft as template. And then you go over to this one and save as new template. And then give it a name. Save. Now you'll see that when I go back and compose a new email, go to that same three dots there, go to templates, and it should be at the very top, new contract buyer. So it's just going to get thrown right in there.
do that again?
Sure.
Because when I'm going, so I went into compose an email,
Okay.
right? And I created whatever, something on it, right? And once I'm done with that, where do I go to save that as a template?
Yeah, so very bottom, you'll see these 3
Right.
dots here.
I see that, right?
Click on that, hover over templates.
I don't have templates.
So try going back to your settings and making sure that you saved when you clicked enable for templates.
Ah,
That's this page right here, enable, and then save changes.
okay, hold on. Where was the settings, templates? Where was the templates? On what area?
It's under advanced.
Under advanced. You know what? I don't. Sorry, I'm holding up everybody, but I just need to know advanced. Okay, I got advanced.
And then
and
make
I
sure
got
templates is
templates
enabled. Okay.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go and
Yeah, so
click on
that's
the
saved.
3 dots.
Yeah, you might want to try
Template.
refreshing. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, save draft as a template.
Yes.
Okay,
Save draft, give it a name. And then now when you go and compose a new one, it should show up under the insert template.
got it. Okay.
So to give you a few of mine that I use regularly, when we go under contract, I send out like an introductory email to all parties. So I have 2 here, one for buyers, one for listings. If I pull that up here, you'll see I highlighted the parts that I need to change every time. So when I send it out to all parties, I like to have, the address, all the details of the contract, all of the parties involved. And then I'll go and actually attach the contract to it. And then every time I send that out, I give it the same title. So it's contract information. That way I can always easily pull up those contracts. So if I ever want to go back what I like to do when I go under contract with a listing or a buyer is create this email, be the first one, beat the other agent to send it out, copy all parties. That way, anytime someone communicates, they're back on this email thread. So it keeps it all in one spot.
Now, what's your thoughts about doing that smart plan? I don't know if you use smart plan.
I do.
Like sending congratulations because you have in command. Congratulations on your new sale of the house. Obviously, it will not have all those dates that you put on.
Yeah,
But
that's
if
the one thing about
you-
smart plans. I think it can be great for the kind of general information. Like you could have one set up to where, when they go under contract, you put them on a smart plan that says, here's all the general information about the contract process.
Right.
But pretty
Right.
much what I have set up, the system that I run, is going back to my transaction tracking sheet. You'll see here, this is the seller sheet. When they go under contract, I have tasks in here for, and they've changed it. It used to be called canned email response. Now it's email templates. But I have a part of my checklist that is, okay, use this specific template to send out on this day.
Got it. Got
And
it.
then as we go through, there's more for, the appraisals coming. So it really comes down to how you want to do it. You could easily make a smart plan for it. But I just
Got
like
it.
doing everything in Gmail.
Okay.
So those are two that I send out very regularly when we go under contract. You can also kind of create like new ones. So for example, we had like a house where we had, I think, 20 offers on the listing. So I created this highest and best email. Patty was traveling, wanted to let you know we have a bunch of offers in hand. They're going to review at this time. So I created this one. That way I could go in and easily send out, 20 emails in 2 minutes, as opposed to typing it out or copying and pasting.
Right.
Let's see some of the other big ones I use. This is one, I actually just created this yesterday because we had a couple different buyers we had set consultations for. So this one was, we're excited to work with you. Prior to the consultation, please reach out to our lender. Keller Williams office located here. Here's when we're meeting. So now I have this set to where anytime we set an appointment with a new buyer lead, I can just pull this up, fill in the information, send it out, be done with it.
Hey, Kevin, would it hold attachments?
It will not. I wish it would. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll add that in one day. So that being said, it's a good point. I do have parts of my templates where, let's see if I still have it in here.
Because otherwise you're always searching, right, for where is that document that I need to send them. And obviously if you're keeping it on Google Chrome as a PDF, as on your Google Drive as a PDF, then you can just send it from there. But it's, again, a major pain.
Just an extra step, yeah. So
yeah,
when
that you have
like, for example, for this new contract, or not new contract, the buyer consultation, what I could do, pull this up here. You'll see in here, I mentioned I have attached a few resources, including our buyer's guide. What I might do is highlight this and save that as the template. That way, when before I go to send it, I can say, oh yeah, I need to attach that. So kind of use it as a reminder for yourself. But yeah, I don't think you can save attachments yet. I haven't tried in a while, but I don't believe it.
I got it. Okay.
That is the basics of templates. Any questions there?
It's very good. Yeah.
Make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh yeah, one more or two more quick things. So I'm in my inbox right now. One thing I like to do is use the search bar at the top. I'm sure you all know how to search your emails. What I like to do is as we get a new listing or something, I'll create a label. So we have one right now.
Yeah,
I'll type in the address to pull up all the information about that listing. And then I'll go to the top left and hit these check boxes and just select them all. And then you'll see here at this bar at the top, there's this little flag looking thing. You click on that for labels and you can create a new label. It's basically like in command contacts if you have tags. This is just a tag for your emails. You'll see here, I already have one set up for 5412 Tally Green Drive. Once I go and flag or label all of those as that address, on the left side here, underneath your inbox and all that, you can have your different labels, like your categories. So I can always pull up, that listing. That way I don't have the 1,000 of spam emails that flood my inbox every day. I have all of our Tally Green right in here.
So what you do, you clicked on where in order to, where did you do that?
Pretty much you just
You
use
clicked on the left
boxes
side.
on the left. So you can either do it individually or you can select them all. And then at the top, you hit
And
this
then
little,
label them.
this label button at the top. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So definitely not required, but an easy way to just kind of categorize your inbox. And then last quick one is in the settings. So we're going back to settings, see all settings. I think it's right below your signature here. There is a vacation responder, so I'm sure you've all sent an email before and get an automated response that says, hey, I'm out of the office for the next 2 days. This is how you set that up. You just scroll all the way down, turn it on, select when you want it to start, when you want it to end, and then you can set up that automated response. So if you leave the state, leave the country, don't want to be bothered, set it up for a few days and say, hey, reach out to my admin or this agent who's helping me with my business. I'll get back to you on this date. Because you shouldn't be working on vacations if you can help it. Any Gmail questions before we move on? Oh, good. All right. Diving into docs and sheets. One thing I want to show you, which is kind of cool. So first off, if I'm in my drive, like I showed you earlier, let's say I have a listing here. New folder. You can add in a document or a sheet directly to this folder just by hitting the plus new and then clicking on which one you want to add. So I'm just going to add in a document to show you how that works. And like I said earlier, this is pretty much just Microsoft Office Word, but it's Google's version. You'll see here on the Google Docs main page, one thing that's cool about this Keller Williams joint account we have is there are some templates built in. So you'll see here on the main page, if I go up here to template gallery and click it, there's some that have been uploaded by Keller Williams or by different teams. So you can kind of see what other people have used and download them and tweak them. So you'll see here they have, a 135. That's a good one to download.
I don't have template gallery. Why is that?
Are you logged into your Keller Williams account or just your general Gmail account?
My KW account goes into my Gmail account.
Okay. Well, you want to be logged into your when it feeds to your account, that's just for email forwarding. What you want to do is actually log into your Keller Williams account, and that's where you're going to get the unlimited drive space, the templates that are Keller Williams branded, all that stuff.
But how does it save my Gmail account is different name than my KW Gmail account is different than my other email.
Yeah, so if you primarily use a different email account instead of your Keller Williams one, you can still do that, go into your email the same way. But if you want to take advantage of all the free templates and free space in Drive, all you need to do is when you're in your email account, click the top right corner where you're logged in, and it'll probably say, Shelly at Gmail. Just make sure you add another account. Make sure you have that Keller Williams one on this list.
What? Meeting.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
if you
thank
want to
you.
go into that Keller Williams one, just click there. It'll log you into that. And you can be logged into multiple on different tabs if you want.
Right. So you can move those templates or templates from that KW, but it's still not going to help me. How you moving the templates or you connecting my Gmail account to that KW account, which I think it is right now.
So I think what you probably have set up is your KW email is just forwarding to your other account, but they
Right.
aren't really
Right.
linked aside from that. So the
Right.
drives are completely separate. But if you wanted to continue to use your personal one, you could log into your Keller Williams one, find which of these documents you wanted, and then you
And
can
then copy
actually,
and move them.
yeah, you can easily download it. The cool thing about
Okay.
it is they are kind of linked in a way to Microsoft Office. So like if I go and download a Google document, it takes it offline
Right.
as a Google or as a Microsoft Word. And then when you re-upload it into the drive, it'll upload as a Google document. So you can download it, put it into your other account if you want to move it around.
Got it. Okay. I got you.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, there's some cool templates in here, something to look into just to kind of get some ideas
Okay.
from. They have the same thing in Sheets.
Is that something that they upload that people just go in and just put their stuff on it just for?
Yeah, I don't think a whole lot of people know you can do it because it's not like thousands of
Correct.
templates, but there are some good ones. Like some of the big teams have uploaded some different ones.
Okay. Got it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
135 is good. And then I'll send some of the ones that I use as well. I'll show you what some of those look like.
Kevin, are you recording this by any chance?
I am, yes.
Okay. Can you email that to me? Because I have to go to the ALC before I'll be, get punished. So,
Yeah, you know how to get to the Keller Williams or our office YouTube account,
yes.
quantrain.com. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll upload it there.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
there's
I
also previous
apologize.
sessions on this as well. No worries at all. I know
All
they
right.
had
Thank
a
you.
schedule.
Bye. Bye.
All right, take care. Let's see here. So my templates, I'll show you a few of the docs that I use pretty regularly. So the 135, if you don't know what that is, I believe it's mentioned in the MREA book. If not, then it's one of the big tools that Keller Williams uses for business planning. But this is something I'll print out definitely at the beginning of each year, but even monthly or quarterly, I'll go and revisit this. It's pretty much just a way to outline your goal. What is your main objective for the year? I want 500,000 GCI, 3 goals. I need to do this amount of lead gen, this amount of marketing. It just breaks down your goal. Very simple one. Contract information sheet. So part of our transaction tracking, you'll see here, I have email contract and contract information document to seller. So when we get a contract, I'll go into this Google Doc that I have saved. There. I'll go and fill out all the information on this sheet that just kind of has like their responsibilities up until closing. And then I'll save that as a PDF and email it to them. And I'll say, if you don't read any of my emails, at least read this one because this is all the information you'll need. Resources for sellers. So this is just a kind of sample of one of the many things you can do with Google Docs. I have pretty much all of our go-to vendors. So when we meet with a seller for the first time, I print out this sheet and give it to them. That way they can see, here's our go-to inspectors, chimney sweeps, pressure washers, pretty much everyone on our top referral list. They get a spot on this one-page document. If you're newer, you can go to our Keller Williams Atlanta North resource page, and they have a list of all of our office preferred vendors. That's a good place to start. Special stipulations. This is one that I've been kind of building on over the years. It's a very long document, but these are, for those weird special stipulations you might want to add into a contract. If you hit, if you guys don't know, Control F, you can do whenever you're online, and it pulls up a Finder. So you'll see Find and Document. So let's say I want to write in a special stipulation about, pest something, termite bond. I can just search for pest and see what all stipulations I have regarding pests. So these are just kind of all the basic ones, and then some that actually never get used. They also have the official GAR ones. A lot of these are the same. So I highly recommend using the GAR official stipulations before you dive into writing your own or using others. But this is where I like to just keep them safe, because I know the GAR ones are just on a PDF. So you actually have to go like type it, I think. So I like having them here. That way I can just copy and paste it into our contracts. And last one here, this is our lead gen scorecard. So what I do is every week I print this sheet out for our lead agent, my mom. That way she can go in and easily, as she's making calls, texts, having conversations with clients, she can strike through the numbers. So how many dials, texts, conversations, appointments set, appointments gone on, how many closings do we have, a whole page for notes for any contacts she has. And so you'll see here, I made it very simple for her. I print this sheet out and I say, just make sure you're striking through as you go. At the end of the week, she gives it to me. And then I have a sheet to track those numbers. So every week she gives me her sheet. I can go in and say, all right, from 1-1 to, I did there. From 1-1 to 1-7, she did 200 calls, 200 dials, 50 conversations, 4 in person. There we go. That way, as the weeks go by, she's making her calls. It's keeping a running total. And the reason this helps so much is at the end of the year, I'm doing my business planning for next year, and I say, all right, next year I want to have 20 closed listings. I can backtrack and say, all right, from 20 closed listings, I know I need to go on 25 listing appointments. To get 25 listing appointments, I need to have 500 conversations. That's 2,000 calls. All right, what's 2,000 divided by 12? Now I know exactly how many calls I need to make each month to hit my goal for 30 closed listings or whatever it is. The more you can track your business as you go, the easier it is to see in the future what needs to be done to achieve those goals. And once you have those consistent numbers, you can say, all right, this year, I want to work on my conversion. I know I'm having 50 conversations. It's only leading to 2 appointments. How do I get that number up? I need to work on my scripts. So tracking your business shows you where you need to improve to become more efficient. We like efficiency, right? So that's a good one. Transaction tracking went through. Let's see here. Multiple offer worksheet. There's another sheet I use pretty regularly because in this market, we're getting multiple offers on a lot of listings. This is a good one. As the offers come in, I'll go in. I'll say offer number 1. Oh, why it's loading so slow today. Number 1 came from Rusty. He offered 400,000. Fill out this document. And once all the offers have come in by whatever deadline we set, I'll go and download this as a PDF and send it to my seller. That way they can look at it and say, okay, here's the 10 offers we have in hand in one handy spreadsheet, as opposed to trying to look through 10, 30-page offers and getting confused and lost in all the different terms. I just break down the most important parts of the offer and put it all in one sheet. Simple. 2 of them that I don't use much, but there is a lot of potential in are slides and forms. So when I click on these dots at the top, you'll see slides and forms. Slides is basically PowerPoint. So I've never actually used this, but I like the idea of, meeting for a buyer consult and using one of the TVs in the office to present a actual PowerPoint presentation, because as we're moving further and further from printing paper, I think that's could be a good tool. So I worked on this like years ago. I've never actually implemented it. But you could easily create a PowerPoint and then you can send it to people, or if you want to present it in person, you can easily do that. So I'm not going to dive too far into it, but those are what slides are. Forms I've actually used a few times. They can be really helpful. So I'll go back here and create a new one so you can see how that looks. You'll see here I have some that I've created, and just like with documents, there are some templates that have been uploaded by Keller Williams that you can go off of. So they have like buyer questionnaire. There's not a whole lot in here, but there's a buyer questionnaire and an open house sign-in. But two of the ones that I've used pretty regularly, or three of the ones, are the buyer questionnaire. So when we get a new buyer, I might send them this form that they can easily fill out on their phone or on their computer. This isn't actually mine. I think this is the one that I just downloaded. Yeah, it's not a good one. Let's see what mine is. Oh, here we go. New client questionnaire. This is one that I've used. So I might send this to like an internet lead. That way they can fill out, their legal name, give me their contact info. And then I have some kind of generic questions on like, when's your birthday? Do you have kids? What are their names? But you can make this specific for buyers or sellers. If you wanted to do a seller one, like I have a home evaluation form. So I might create one of these home evaluation forms and then post on Facebook and say, hey, if you're interested in your home value, fill out this form real quick. I'll get back to you right away with what I think your home's worth in today's market. So they go in, put in their address, click a few boxes. And then as soon as they finish, I get an email that says, hey, you got a new lead, a new form submission. I'll go in, I'll check it all, put together, a basic spreadsheet of what I think their home's worth. It's really just a simple way to collect their information and provide value. But you can fill these out however you want. You'll see if I'm, this is a already existing one, but if I wanted to create one from scratch, I would just go here, add a question, and you can choose, multiple choice, check boxes, drop downs. You can have all kinds of different questions. And then it's going to keep all their responses in one spot. Which I don't know if I've ever actually used this sheet. It might be a copy of one. That's a good way to also track, because you'll be able to see, all right, I got 10 responses, 8 out of 10 were single family, 2 out of 10 were multifamily. Just kind of a cool way to get a recap of your form. That's also good to use for RSVPs for like events or open house sign-ins. You can know an open house sign-in form. Very simple. Their information, what do you like most? What do you like least? Are you working with an agent? What's their name? What's your time frame? And then what I can do is take this form, hit these 3 dots, or let's see, I haven't done this in a while. Oh yeah. Preview. So this is the form they can fill out. I can go and copy this web address into one of those QR code generators. And that's going very slow today. Boom, created that. I can download that as a picture, put it on my flyer. I can put up a sign at my open house. That way, when people come in, you don't have to say, fill out this sheet of paper. You could do everything digitally and say, hey, just, do me a favor before you start looking around, scan this code. And as you go through, take notes on what you like, what you don't like. I just want to get feedback from you so I can give it to my seller. It kind of makes it more fun for them, I've noticed, because instead of just coming in, being like, oh, I got to fill out my information again, they're pulling it up on their phone. And as they're going through, they're like, oh, I like this. I like this. I don't like this.
Kevin, how did you get there again? Sorry, to the QR code?
QR code. If you go to Google and just look up QR code generator.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of different websites.
I had turned away for like a hot second. I was like,
Yeah,
how
no
do we
worries.
get there? Okay.
Yeah, there's a ton of different ones that do the same thing, but most of them you just click on it, paste your URL in there, and then you can download your QR code.
Where are you pasting the URL on the form? Can you show me?
So the form you create, and then you're
Mhm.
using that URL to create your QR code.
Okay.
So then you can go and print that QR code, say on a big sheet of paper, and have like, create a document that says sign in here. Which I'll show you real quick. We do that, download it. Of course, it wants me to sign in. Oh no, you don't have to do that. It's being generated. Download. Don't sign up because it's doing it. And then I can go create a document. Let's see if that actually downloaded. I would obviously make this look much nicer, but create a sheet like that, print it out, have people scan it as soon as they walk in, and good to go. All right, we have gone into a lot of stuff. That's kind of the overview of everything. Does anyone have questions or comments before we wrap this up?
Kevin, is there a way when two people are on a team and each have their own emails, but a common subject email comes through where just the common subject emails can be synced together?
What do you mean by that? So like if two
Like if
people
we're both
emails,
being
one person
copied.
gets an email, can it be like synced to the other account?
Yeah, if Bill Smith sends both of us an email or just one of us an email, but Bill Smith's messages would get synced to both our emails.
I don't believe so. I think they actually have to send you that email. I don't think you can like sync accounts like that unless you have it set up to forward. But if you do that and they send you both an email, then you might get duplicates.
Yeah,
Yeah. well,
okay.
I
Okay,
guess duplicates are better than nothing at all. So,
Yeah. I mean, if you want to cover yourself, duplicates the way to go.
all right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to send you a request to copy us on all your forms and procedures? Because you all are very successful and we like to rip off and duplicate.
Well, thank you. Yes, let me share my screen real quick. I'll write down my email for you guys. Yeah, if you
Okay.
want to shoot me an email or a text, I will send all this out to you today. psjacksonteam@kw.com. Here's my phone number. Either one works. I will send you pretty much all that stuff. And if you guys have any specific questions, you're welcome to email or text me as well.
All right, then how do we sign up for your Friday consultations?
Same way, just shoot an email to psjacksonteam@kw and just say, I want to do it's actually every other Thursday. I think there is one tomorrow. Yeah, pull up my calendar quick. I actually didn't even dive into calendars much. Do you guys use Google Calendar? I use it for everything. Let's see. Thursday. Yeah, Command Happy Hour is tomorrow. So yeah, just shoot me an email if you do want to RSVP for that, and I'll send you out a Zoom link. And that said, it is Command Happy Hour, but it's really just whatever tech questions you guys have. So if you want to dive more into Google tools, we can definitely do that as well. Pretty much any question you have, I can try my best to help with.
You did a class once on putting together Facebook posts, and excellent. And I've used your information, but also realized I need a little more information. So I'll sign up.
Oh, good. Yeah, I love helping with that kind of stuff. Good deal. Any final questions, comments, actions? What are you guys going to use out of everything we learned today? What's your first step?
Kevin, today was I use Google Calendar, Google, I have the forms and everything else like that. But I really like how you're organized with the different folders that you have. So I'm literally sending you an email right now. I will take all of the folders that you will share with me, because I want to have even the buyers when they go through, I forgot what was called, not buyer's consultation, but I don't know the name of the doc that you have, but pretty much all of those different folders. I would love to organize my stuff like that. So
Great.
I'm
Yeah,
literally
I can
emailing
easily
you now.
I can make like a folder outline and
Yeah.
that out as well. Because that's a good place to get started, and then just start uploading whatever you have into there. And
Yes, those are, I mean, all of those different tools are so helpful to just help us run our business, like the special step, the Legion scorecard, all of those are very helpful. So anyways,
good.
Thank you for this class.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I use Google for a large majority of our business. Command and Google are pretty much the two main tools that we use to run our business, and they are very valuable. So getting comfortable with both of them will pretty much get you everything you need in this business. All right. Anything else?
Thank you, Kevin. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Yeah, you guys shoot me an email or text, and I'll get this sent out to you later today. And hope you all have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.